Hey guys, want to make a quick video with something that was brought to my attention from some other YouTube channels and gun rights organizations. This is from Reuters, and I'll post a link to this in a pinned comment so you can read it yourself. But they are saying that the President Trump there said yesterday, I guess on Monday, that he is just a few weeks away from finalizing a regulation that would ban so-called bump stocks, which of course we know what they are. They allow semi-automatic weapons to fire at a higher rate. I don't even want to say like machine guns because that's not true. It does not convert anything to full auto. It's just an easier way to simulate, Jerry Michalak, for example. He can do the same deal with his trigger finger. Well, we're not. Most people are nowhere near his caliber, so this kind of lets people feel like what it's like to be him for a day, so to speak. But regardless, and a lot of gun owners consider them a toy or useless, stupid, who cares if they're banned. But that is the complete wrong attitude. I mean, I don't care about a bump stock either. I'll probably never own one. Not a big deal to me. But banning anything is a big deal. You might like your nice hunting shotguns or bolt action rifles. Well, it starts with banning things that seem insignificant like this. Next thing, it'll be something else, something else. And it's not even the object that's the issue. I've read these bills and things, how they're written up, and it's the language of it. They put on the surface bump stock. That's kind of the poster child for it, so to speak. But in reality, it could ban semi-autos altogether because it says rate increasing. Well, what is the rate of fire of a semi-auto? There is none. You could look at it as semi-automatics are a rate increasing version of single shot, bolt action. So any of that stuff could go away, but nevertheless, they're saying that he mentioned this on Monday. We're knocking out bump stocks, Trump said at a White House news conference. We're in the final 2 to 3 weeks, and I'll be able to write out bump stocks. And they're going back to the whole Stephen Paddock used bump stocks on 12 of his weapons at the mass shooting in Vegas a year ago. Killed 58 people, wounded, we know that whole story. Authorities say his ability to fire hundreds of rounds a minute over the course of 10 minutes, is the major factor. And this is complete false, which is why it's hard for me to take much sense out of anything from any of these articles. But states right there, while machine guns are outlawed in the U.S., bump stocks are not. Machine guns, full auto, is not outlawed. It is restricted, and it costs you a fortune, because they are restricted in the sense of the Hughes Amendment. May of 86, anything prior that was registered transferable, you can buy it. Granted, that takes quite a bit of money in most cases. Close to a year or so paperwork for a tax stamp, NFA, jump through the hoops, and you can have it. But they are not outlawed. Now, modern full auto, yeah, we can't get that unless you're, a dealer, someone that specializes in that kind of stuff. But full auto in and of itself, no, is not outlawed. And it says U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions said back in March that, they were going to look at it. And, of course, they had the comment period where everybody went out and gave their opinion on, how they felt one way or another toward the issue. And we're now in the final stages of the procedure. Now, I am a Trump supporter, but I'm not one of those type that, you've got your never Trump people that no matter what he done, they would hate him forever. Well, there's a lot of pro-Trump people that have a similar attitude of, no matter what he does, we will support him. He's better than having a Democrat in there. We wouldn't have any guns or blah, 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 compromise and all this. That is the total wrong attitude. You don't compromise with your rights, none of that. Because if you look at it this way, a compromise usually means, both sides kind of give up a little bit in order to come to a common ground or agree on something. But think of it this way. We shouldn't play any games with our rights, first off. But what does the left ever give up concerning the, Second Amendment? What are they, people thinks that, oh, well, if we let them have bump stocks, then maybe they'll let us have suppressors, silencers, pass the Hearing Protection Act, or HUSH, whatever they're calling it nowadays, or, we'll give up bump stocks, and I've heard people say maybe they'll get rid of the NFA. That is stupid. They're not going to, you're not going to be able to give up this device, which, in their opinion, turns your gun into a machine gun. Okay. So, think of this logically. You're going to give up a device that can cause you to shoot faster, but people think that they're going to allow you to buy a machine gun that its sole purpose is shooting faster. It's not a device, it's the whole package. That makes absolutely no sense. They're not going to give you anything, in their crazy mind, they're better off to leave things as they are. Because if they pass, anything to allow full auto to be in every gun shop around, people are going to love it and buy it and have a lot of fun with it, and they're going to hate that. The left will hate it. Bump stocks, whether they were actually used in Vegas or not, I'm not going to get into all that right now, but, most gun owners never cared about them anyway. So, by allowing them or not is not going to change a thing. The only thing, as far as gun owners are concerned, but what it will do is empower the left to know that, hey, we got something done. We chipped away at something, So what's next? Well, in my opinion, I could see them getting one of their leftist, left-wing nuts out there to pick a different firearm or device. Go out and do something with it, Let's get another device in the headlines, Take your pick. Could be anything. Flash hiders, I don't know, higher capacity, magazines, whatever the case may be. Drum mags, there's a million and one things you can think of. Oh, the guy used a red dot to help him aim. That got him on target quicker. Well, red dot's got to go. This guy used a scope, with crosshairs in it. And that helped him aim better to do what he done, to kill as many as possible. He would have missed most of his shots if he hadn't had a scope. Well, I guess we got to go ban scopes and red dots now. All that stuff has to get out of here. We can't have any of that. What's next? Every little thing, will be gone. It was dark, and he had night sights on his firearm. Well, those got to go too, because if he wouldn't have had night sights, then he couldn't have shot those people. There's a million and one things that all run into the same mindset as the bump stock. Without this, he couldn't have, done all the damage he done. In this case, they're saying bump stock. But like I said, that's no different than anything else. And they can chip away one thing at a time, and before you know it, we've got nothing. So, keep all that in mind when you think that bump stocks don't matter. Next time you're at the gun range and you're looking through your nice Aimpoint, EOTech, or, you're on your hunt, deer season, or whatever you hunt, and you're looking, the crosshairs of your real nice loopholed optic that you've spent, over $1,000+ on, and, it's really helping you, and you're enjoying it, and you love the clarity of the glass and all of that. think back to your some of your guys' comments that I don't care about a bump stock. Well, a lot of people can say I don't care about a scope or a red dot either. So, you know, you got to keep all that stuff in the back of your mind. If they can chip away at one thing and find out, well, this is what happened to allow us to be able to take away this object. So all they have to do is replicate the event with a different object. And, you know, they can more likely expect similar results. Because nobody done a thing to prevent or stop this. So, but I don't want to say nobody. I shouldn't throw everybody under that. A lot of us did call, write, you know, do whatever. But in the end, well, you can blame the NRA. They opened this whole kettle of, you know, kettle of fish, so to speak. They brought it all out for all this, but they're not a active, you know, gun activist group anyway. That's a whole nother deal for a whole nother video. If you want to know more about the NRA and their anti-gun policies, let me know and I'll make a separate video on that. But nevertheless, do not give up anything when it comes to the Second Amendment. Not one single thing. I don't care what it is. You know, like I said, bump stocks. I'll probably never own one. You know, they're not appealing to me. I just don't care. You know, it's a bump stock. It's whatever. It's a novelty. Whatever. Ammo. You know, I just can't afford to burn through it like that. But if the next guy wants one and go out and burn out 1,000 rounds of ammo, you know, God bless him. Go for it. If that's something you want to do, that's fine. Not a problem. You know, it's like the 500 Smith & Wesson, you know. Magnum, most powerful, you know, handgun and all that. I'll probably never own one of those for various reasons. But should I say that that should not be allowed for any reason because I don't want one or don't care? No. You know, I'll fight to defend that handgun or any other the same as anything else. Whether I want it or not is irrelevant. It's part of our Second Amendment right, and that's all that should matter. You know, I know Iraq veteran 8888 there, Eric. I've met him once, him and Chad. Good group of guys. And he's made the comments, you know, plenty of times on his videos. You know, with all the Republicans that are in control, we should be picking pro-gun legislation, you know, like grabbing stuff off the Taco Bell menu. You know, we'll have some of this, some of that. You know, everything should run through. But no, it's definitely not that way. So you got to stay on, everybody. Never, ever get complacent. Your rights, regardless of what right you want to mention, they're all only a vote away. You know, so be very cautious. Stick up for it all, even if you feel that it really won't affect you, because one day something's going to come up that will affect you, and there may not be nobody there to have your back. So, like I said, I'll put the link in the pinned comment so you can read this for yourself. Hopefully something will change and this won't actually happen, but it's looking pretty grim right at the moment. Please, if you can, like, favor, share, you know, all that stuff. And if anything else comes out about this or any other similar issues, I'll be sure to make a video. And again, if you want to hear anything about my feelings and proof on why I feel that way concerning the NRA, let me know. I'll make a video on it. Until then, stay safe, guys, and I'll catch you next time.